5 on your side at 10 starts now.
A living tribute to a young hockey player.
His future was ripped away from him.
Tonight, a mother's mission to provide good in the wake of evil.
The autumn chill is over. Summer heat makes a return, and it may last a while. Plus, I'll time out any rain chances.
Our top story, a brutal murder and rape inside a South City home.
It's sad. It's sad.
The heinous crime leaving neighbors in disbelief. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike Bush has the night off. Tonight, a warrant is out for a 32-year-old man charged with multiple crimes, including first-degree murder and rape. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon just back from the Mount Pleasant neighborhood where 2 women were violently attacked less than 48 hours ago.
Well, Kelly, one woman told me she heard gunshots, about 6 of them, and she knew something was up. Tonight, we've learned new details about the shocking crime, and what's worse, children were in that home when it all went down.
Wow.
Neighbors on Minnesota Avenue near Osceola Street at a loss for words after I explained what happened right here on their block Sunday.
He needs to get what's going to happen to him. He needs the full extent of the justice. Yeah, he needs the full extent of the law. That's no joke.
He's referring to a man named Freddie Lee Sawyer. According to court documents, the 32-year-old went over to a woman's home after she invited him. They were listening to music in the kitchen when, for some reason, authorities say he shot and killed her. After that, authorities say he went upstairs where there was another woman. Sawyer is accused of holding her at gunpoint and sexually assaulting her. 2 5-year-olds and a 16-year-old were all in the home. And that's not all. Police say shortly afterwards that same man went back to the home, found the second victim, took her cell phone, and destroyed it.
Bro, they're going to have to deal with a lot of scarring and healing to go through. That's their family going to have to be worried about what they got to deal with. And definitely them kids, bro, that's going to hurt them. They're going to remember this.
Take the guns off the street, That's the first thing we need to do. Is I think these folks nowadays, they just don't have any direction, no purpose.
Court documents show Sawyer is a convicted felon who was placed on probation 5 months ago after being arrested for drugs, unlawful use of a weapon, and resisting arrest. Court or jail records don't indicate whether he's in custody right now, but a judge has ordered he be held without bond.
Tonight, a University City piano teacher is facing more charges of child sex abuse. Today, prosecutors filed 3 more counts of statutory sodomy against 39-year-old Daniel Yavitz in connection to a second victim. According to court documents, the abuse happened while babysitting at the victim's home. Yavitz was arrested in June, accused of sexually abusing a former student while giving lessons at his home. He previously worked at Parkway Central Middle School as a teaching assistant with the special school district. Here's a live look at the state capitol in Jefferson City, where just hours ago, House Republicans answered President Trump's call to give the GOP an extra seat in Congress. Tonight, the Show Me State is now at the center of the nation's redistricting wars. The so-called Missouri First map divides Congressman Emanuel Cleaver's district, a Democrat stronghold in the Kansas City area, into 3 rural districts that vote solidly Republican. Democrats call it unconstitutional. GOP leaders insist the stakes in Washington are too high.
It is about Donald Trump trying to keep control of the House. He's bullied Texas, and now he's trying to bully us.
I don't think we're pushing him out. I think we're trying to provide the representation that more adequately reflects the voters in the state of Missouri, and that is conservative representation.
House Republicans also approved a second controversial plan to make it harder for voters to change the state constitution. Tomorrow, Democrats are planning to rally at the State House as the Senate begins to take action on both measures. Another delay tonight in an effort to regulate the sale of hemp-infused products in St. Louis County. Right now, the snacks and beverages are sold in plain sight outside of licensed dispensaries. 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski was there as industry leaders weighed in at a special council meeting. Laura?
Kelly, there was an interesting mix of people that spoke tonight, a lot of them from the cannabis industry and a few others from the CBD hemp industry. The one thing they had in common was they all wanted regulation, but this legislation as it stands now wouldn't do that outside a dispensary.
Bill 15 simply says that if it comes from hemp and it intoxicates, it should be regulated like marijuana. That required that these products are safe, tested, taxed, and restricted to adults. Banning these products locally until until they're regulated by the state is the responsible path forward.
St. Louis County Councilwoman Lisa Clancy is the sponsor of the bill. She says the products are largely unregulated with misleading packaging and sold within reach of children at convenience stores. Dr. Stephanie Cernasek is a chemist who studies cannabinoids and says the dangers of the chemical process of turning hemp into an intoxicating product aren't fully understood.
After the passing of the Farm Bill, adverse events from Delta-8 THC were recorded at a rate 3 times greater than that for Delta-9.
Delta-9 is the more commonly known form of THC found in marijuana. Businesses who specifically sell or make these products argue that they self-regulate and test, like Plift hemp-derived drinks, which you can find at your local liquor store.
Our products are clearly labeled for adults 21 up, and every single batch is tested 4 times for pesticides, microbials, heavy metals, potency, and more before ever reaching a consumer or the shelves that we're sold on.
Executive Director of Grunt Style and veteran advocate Will Wisner says many veterans use hemp-derived products as alternatives to pharmaceutical drugs and don't want them to be pushed into dispensaries.
Texas showed the way. 1.5 million veterans helped Governor Abbott veto a similar ban, proving regulation works. St. Louis County can do the same. We fought for freedom abroad. Don't shackle our access to affordable wellness at home.
Speakers heavily discussed the issue of safety, the main driver of the bill.
Until Congress or the state of Missouri acts, local governments like ours are the last defense.
County by county restrictions will not protect public safety. They will simply push sales to neighboring counties.
The council wasn't able to get to everyone signed up to testify or the public comment portion, so they're scheduling another meeting before it goes up for a vote.
The County Council also considered a bill asking for $2 million for RECA funding. The Radiation Exposure Compensation Act provides federal funds for people exposed to radiation in St. Louis County. County Executive Sam Page is asking for the money to hire more people to help those who need compensation. He says any funding delays could lead to longer wait times and service disruptions. The council could vote on the bill next week. Answers tonight in the mystery surrounding the murder of a Jefferson County man and the search for his missing wife. Stacy J. Malcolm was found dead in a creek near State Road WW in Dittmer on Sunday. Police have been searching for her ever since her husband, Robert Malcolm, was found shot to death in his home August 30th. Investigators are now treating this as a murder-suicide.
So we believe that she was responsible for the shooting death of Robert Malcolm. Nobody wanted to find her in this condition, but also we were hoping to be able to hear her story.
The cause of Stacy J. Malcolm's death is under investigation. Police say signs point to an overdose. A man who confessed to a road rage murder is headed to prison. A judge sentenced Cameron Bernard to 22 years in prison today. The 23-year-old pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and 8 other felonies for the October 2020 shooting in Jennings. Ryan Hampton was killed and 2 children were hurt after Bernard fired shots into their car while driving down Lucas and Hunt Road. We have a new development tonight in the month-long Boeing strike in the bi-state. The union met with federal mediators today at the request of Boeing. The session ended without a deal. The union says it was clear the company was not serious about finding a way to end the strike. Boeing responded tonight in a statement saying, quote, "While we're open to further talks, our focus is on executing our strike contingency plan." Last week, Boeing announced they would be hiring permanent replacements. The future of Granite City's steel plant is uncertain tonight. Union leadership received word that after October, U.S. Steel will no longer ship steel slabs to Granite City for processing. Now, this could mean layoffs. However, as part of the Trump administration's deal on the sale to Nippon Steel, layoffs are not allowed until 2027. So steel workers will be reassigned to maintenance roles, which means they'll take a pay cut.
It could be an economic loss for some of our membership, being that some of the money we earn is based off of production. I'm not so sure that, the future's bright here with Granite City.
The Granite City mayor says he is disappointed President Trump isn't helping. In a 2018 visit, the president promised to bring back jobs to the plant. Tonight, Mayor Kara Spencer's office is blaming a demolition firm for slow tornado debris pickup in North St. Louis. Originally, Spiritus Worldwide got the contract to remove debris. The mayor's office says the company requested heavy changes to its contract. The city then had to hire a new company. Spirit's CEO says the compensation model was unsustainable for his team.
We went as far as we could until we said this just isn't sustainable on a tonnage basis, and I think we helped the city because the city then could rebid it on a yardage basis.
The city went on to hire Looks Great Services, that's the company's name. This contract is based on space rather than weight. Major safety upgrades are coming to Route 100 in St. Louis. The resurfacing project covers a 6-mile stretch from McCausland to South Broadway. MoDOT says the corridor had more than 1,500 crashes in just 5 years. Improvements include reducing lanes, crosswalks with safety medians and protected bike lanes. Construction is expected to be all done by the end of next year. Honoring a young life taken in a senseless crime.
It was evil that took our son from us, and we have to live with that every day, and it is excruciating.
Tonight, only on 5 on Your Side, the mother of Colin Brown shares how she's turning her son's tragic death into 72 acts of kindness.
The autumn feel is over. Here comes summer heat, plus I'll time out any rain chances.
After the devastating loss of their 16-year-old son, Colin Brown's family is on a mission to continue his legacy. The teen was killed by a stray bullet last November while driving home from his hockey game. Only on 5 on Your Side tonight, Destina Coronel sat down with Colin's mother about the campaign they've launched in his honor.
This was our dining room, and just recently we decided when we started 72 Acts of Kindness that this would be the center of 72 Acts of Kindness.
Tracy Brown welcomes us into their home and their hearts.
We created this book for Liam, you know, and this is just the story of two brothers. You know, it's sad that it had to end here at 16 and 14 years of age, but we're hoping that someday we can create another book that shows all the good that's come from this.
Tracy and her family are filled by the memories. Her son, 16-year-old Colin Brown, was shot and killed by a stray bullet along Interstate 55 while riding home from a hockey game with his dad. The mom of two says Colin had big dreams to go to medical school.
It was evil that took our son from us, and we have to live with that every day, and it is excruciating. But something we could have easily done, the easy route would have been to go someplace filled with hate and anger, but that's not what we taught our kids. So we figured the only way we can potentially maybe get through each and every day is to keep Colin at the forefront.
At the forefront of their new foundation.
Colin was a kid who just had a huge heart. I mean, from the time he was little, I think like my very first memory, he was maybe in 2nd grade, and we were out to dinner, and it was December, so it was cold, and we left the restaurant, and there was a homeless person, and he immediately just took our leftovers, asked if he could have a few dollars, and he went and took some money and gave the homeless person food, all on his own, at probably 6 or 7 years old. So stemming from that, we just felt like that's where his heart was, and we needed to still feel his presence. We still needed to feel him with us. And his number being 72, we decided 72 Acts of Kindness is where we wanted to go with that.
72 Acts of Kindness starts off with a social media presence, pushing people to do good, and Tracy posts the positives.
One of the really wonderful gestures that was done was by 3 of his hockey teammates. So these were 3 teenage boys that put together a school supply drive and passed it out to schools in need.
Beyond encouraging acts of kindness, the page is also about the pain.
There's not a single day we don't have a breakdown. I mean, our son's not with us. He's not here. All the goodness that he was going to do in the future.
And their home highlights their pride for Colin.
This was presented to us at his services. These are all his CBC teammates that signed this.
Remnants of Reese's wrappers are hints of Colin's sweet tooth.
This is Colin. There's his Reese cup. And then his Afton team had this made as a surprise for us.
Other reminders of Colin remain untouched.
These are his shells. This is exactly how he took them off the night that he was shot. We have not touched his room. This was from the hospital. So that's his heartbeat.
A heartbeat that continues in this home.
The night that he was shot, this was already up here, and his teammates created a bunch of ornaments with pictures. We don't call it a Christmas tree anymore. It's our Colin tree, and we're just going to keep it up year-round.
Year-round and forever, this family will keep Colin at the forefront. And 72 Acts of Kindness will be the campaign to carry them through.
We want everything that he loved, everything that he was proud of, to keep going. His future was ripped away from him. And so the only thing we can do is try to create some sort of future for him with his presence. And if anyone can learn to be kind, to do something in Colin's name, it would mean the world to us.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Oh boy, and the goal is to turn this campaign into a 501c3 and eventually give out scholarships in Colin's name. Every time a kind act is done, they'll hand out stickers, cards, and poker chips, and eventually they'll create merchandise. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo with the weather impact forecast, and we have a change in store as it starts to get a little warmer out there.
Yes, you know, we're going to get kind of hot here over the next couple of days. It's been 21 days since we've seen a 90-degree high temperature in St. Louis, and I wanted to start out with the overnight lows over the past week in St. Louis. We haven't dropped into the 40s, at least in this city, but we did get down to 50 on Sunday and then 53 this morning, but outside of the city in the 40s. Now tonight, a mid-level disturbance is moving through, and that's going to keep things a little bit warmer for us. So we have a warm front to the west of us right there, and a little bit of moisture trying to work its way in. We'll zoom in a little bit, and sure enough, you know, most of that atmosphere has been dry throughout the day, but a sprinkle or light shower Chester to Sparta and all the way down into Apple Creek is possible as we go throughout the night. And then it goes away tomorrow and we're sunny again, or mostly sunny. Right now we're at 72 in St. Louis, and it is going to be a milder night. We're expecting 60s again for overnight lows. We were at 81 for that high, and 83 is the average. And there it is, those overnight lows outside of the city in the 50s for tomorrow morning. So quite different than the past couple of days. Not as chilly, and a nice calm wind out there. Then it's sunny tomorrow, south wind at 5 miles an hour, and that sunrise at 6:38 a.m. and that sunset at 7:19. All right, we're going to get well into the 80s tomorrow. Here comes the heat. A warm front also pushes through on Friday, so our hottest weather coming is Saturday and Sunday, and that upper level air pattern here, this high pressure, it's expanding into the Midwest. You see the pinks on here. That's that hot air that comes our way. So those 90s, they're going to be with us. In fact, for a while, 93 Friday, 96 Saturday, close to a record. 100 is a record Saturday, and 101 on Sunday, but we're expecting to be just below that at 95. The good news is that dew point trend, it does get up into the 60s, but if you notice, it doesn't go above 65, so it's still tolerable and feels great to tolerable instead of that really humid stuff that we had over the summer. It was really steamy. So this is more of a drier heat is what we call it. All right, so temperatures, look at this. We're going to stay in the 90s from close to 90 tomorrow all the way into Monday and Tuesday next week. Limited rain chances out there. Spotty rain tonight south, and then also Monday a chance of a spot shower or storm.
Those lovely autumn temperatures, and now inching toward a record on the weekend.
Yes, back to summer.
All right, thank you, Jim. Yeah. Frank, tell us about sports.
Kelly, big news for Illinois football fans. Great news for Cody Schrader. And we are the chess capital of the world. I will explain next. The Cardinals are in Seattle, so that means Matthew Libator would be facing Randy Arozarena. They were traded for each other 5 years ago. Randy has been a two-time All-Star, an ALCS MVP with 117 homers. Matthews won 15 games. The Cardinals got on the board in the second. Nolan Gorman, a nice piece of hitting. The double will score Wilson Contreras. In the third, the two main actors in this drama, Libator versus Rosarina, and it's a bomb, a 3-run shot. Right now, the Mariners lead it 5-3 in the 6th inning. Congrats to the pride of Lutheran South, Cody Schrader. Jacksonville signed him off the Rams practice squad to their 53-man roster. The NFL minimum salary is $840,000 a year. A practice squad player makes $12,000 a week. Way to go, Cody. So after Saturday, the Mizzou Tigers have more hardware than ace. Brett Norfleet won the John Mackey Award for tight end of the week, and quarterback Bo Perbula won the Maxwell Award for National Player of the Week. We've been talking about the offense for the last 3 days, but what about the Mizzou defense? They annihilated Kansas up front for much of the game. And Coach starts this soundbite with positivity and then ends it just being a coach who can't be satisfied.
Defensively, I mean, we held them to 3 yards rushing. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been a part of a game where we outrushed somebody by 258 yards and it was that close of a football game. But that was because, again, self-inflicted wounds, not able to affect the quarterback in the pocket, not able to cover in zone cover, not being able to, finish in the fourth quarter, not be able to finish at the start of the second half, So they've gotten plenty of praise. They've gotten plenty of praise. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things we got to get better at.
Okay, Coach. Larry Geese is a philanthropist worth about $1.5 billion. As an Illinois alum, he already donated $150 million to the university, and the School of Business carries his name. Now Geese has made an additional donation of $100 million, so Memorial Stadium in Champaign is becoming Geese Memorial Stadium. I donated $50 to our lunchroom at Channel 5, and we now call it the Cusimano Kitchen. Don't look now, but we have become the chess capital of the world, not the country, the world. In 2006, we had no grandmasters living in St. Louis. Now we have 40, the most on the planet. And the woman behind me could be next. You are looking at a 21-year-old phenom who had very lofty goals at a very young age.
And ever since I was 7 and I started playing chess, I always knew that I wanted to be a grandmaster.
At 10 years old, Carissa Yip actually beat a grandmaster, the youngest to ever defeat a grandmaster. And now she's 40 points away from being a grandmaster herself. Rex Singfield is the president of the St. Louis Chess Club.
Just a special talent that these great chess players have. That is something that you can develop it, but you can't create it if it's not there. They're born with it.
And Carissa is maximizing that talent this year. She's won the Cairns Cup and the U.S. Women's Championship. That's over $100 grand in prize money. What's she doing with the cash?
I'm still in college right now, so I have some tuition to pay. I'm planning on buying an electric scooter.
So she can drive that scooter around Stanford when she completes her degree in computer science. But Carissa moved to St. Louis to hone her skills every day against the best competition. And that goal is simple.
I think I could definitely be, one of the best, if not the best women players in the world.
It's going to take work. Nobody's going to step aside and let her make it easy for her. They're going to try to win every game. So she's got to fight, got to work hard, but she's got the talent and the tenacity.
Oh, and one more thing. Don't ever try to hustle Carissa Yip.
When I'm in New York, I like to play the hustlers for fun. So I'll go up to them and pretend that, I don't know how any of the pieces move. And then I'll start, whipping out 20 moves of opening theory. I think it's a lot of fun.
Can you imagine these hustlers on the streets of New York thinking, oh, here's this innocent little girl. We're going to make some money on her. But she says after she beats the hustlers, she could take the money, but she never takes it.
And they make pretty good money?
Yes. Well,
the top tier people.
As you saw, she's only 21 years old, and she's already made $100,000 this year in winnings. And she's ever so close to being a grandmaster. She has a chance to be, really special. and make a whole lot of money one day.
It's still wild that St. Louis is the chess
Yeah.
capital of the world, as you said.
Yes, Rex Singfield has made it his passion to bring as many here as possible so they can train and get better and better every day.
I love it.
Yep.
All right, good luck to her. Business in the front, party in the back. The local tot making the cut in a nationwide contest. And here's a look at the program streaming in late night on 5+. You can watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, Samsung, or LG TV. Finally tonight, a Metro East preschooler is locked in a battle over long locks. 4-year-old Bodie Fisher of Columbia, Illinois, has made it to the second round of the kids category in the National Mullet Champ competition. Oh my gosh, he's adorable. He calls his flowing blonde do the Swayze Special. Bodie is named after Patrick Swayze's character in Point Break. Or is it Break Point? Point Break? The second round of online voting wraps tomorrow. The winner gets $10,000. The competition benefits Wounded Warriors.
Wow.
Thanks so much for joining us at 10. We are always streaming on 5+, and be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 5 a.m.